Okay, so this is SAT math test number 4. And you look here at the bottom, it's the 2024 edition. So these are all the SAT suites that are on the College Board. All right, you're going to see a lot of graphs on the SAT. Please don't make this harder than what it is. This is X. This is X here. 0 is 29. 1 is 32. And 2 is 35. And when I say that, you have all the information over here to the side. Okay. So they go up by 3. Every time x increases, the y, that's what this is. F of x is y. The y value goes up. And remember, y goes up. So this means that 29x, they go up 29 times. And this plus 32 would almost work. This means they go up 35 times. Another thing you can do is you can do y2. Remember this formula? Y2 minus y1 over x2. You might as well go ahead and get used to this formula. And don't make too much about memorizing it. Just remember y2, and then you're going to know y1's there. Just go y2 over x2, and then you're going to know where it is. The SAT doesn't really use all those other slopes and those discriminant formulas that are in math like they usually use. So what you then do is you would plug in the y2 value, which is 32. Y1 would be 29. You're going to get your slope. And 1 minus 0, 3 over 1. So this is your slope. It's 3x. Now remember, y equals mx plus b. So before you just answer this lazily and start guessing, why don't you look at what it is? Y equals mx plus b. So that's 3x plus b. You don't even have to go over how the slope. This really tells you this. This b is the intercept, and that's 0. And guess what? 0 and 29. So this problem is kind of just working around itself, and the answer is A. So if you can think about that, and this is an equal sign, not a negative here. If you can think about that, you can get this kind of straight. Your slope is not 29. It's not positive 35. It's not 32. Those are distractors. A is the correct answer. So just try to think about what's going on. If you can't think about it, start seeing what you can do. Can I plug in values for y and x and see how I can get to the answer? Okay, before we read this, just notice, and I know everyone who passed algebra, even general algebra knows this is a 90-degree angle. Look at your clues once again. This is 90 degrees. Q is 18. What is the measure of angle S? Now these are corresponding, so if this is 18, this is 18. And so they're asking you what is the measure of this, which means they're also asking you what is the measure of this. And people overthink these questions and then they get it wrong. Now they said right triangles PQR and STU are similar, and when you were in geometry they used words like congruent. Okay, it doesn't matter. When you look at them, you kind of should notice that they're similar anyway without them telling you, because why? Because this is 90, U is 90, and R is 90, and they're in the same point. This is your hypotenuse. Start thinking about what's going on. If the measure of angle Q is 18, what is the measure of angle S? Well, they're not asking you T, they're asking you S. Q is equal to T. Guys, remember this? Q R is congruent or equals U. Do you guys remember this? See what I'm saying? You have to look at what is actually given to you, because if you don't, you tend to get it wrong. You just start saying, okay, well, they all look alike, and you have to look at each angle and look at what's going on. This is called analytical skills. P equals S, and S is what they are asking you for. So whatever P is going to be S. Now let's look at what we can do to solve this. 90 plus 18 equals 108. And I should have done it this way, left to right, but I already knew the answer. And forgive me, that looks like an intersection and not a real 8. So that's 108. Now, if all triangles measure 180 degrees, 180 minus 108 borrowed from here. This is going to be 0, so this is 72. This is your answer. Don't sit here and guess and get something wrong. Look at what's going on.